It's your hot ticket to travel. I discuss this and much, much more with my very special guest, travel event connector and founder of GeniusETC, Rose Tafoya, on today's show. Welcome to the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show, where we are all about super boomers and beyond. And we talk about things that will enhance your lifestyle, your health, your empowerment, and more. My name is Caren Glasser. I am your live stream host. If you are here on replay, we're thrilled you're here on replay. Make sure you make a comment down below that you're here on replay, and I will make sure that respond, as will our guest. If you are here live, we are thrilled that you're here live. We would love you forever if you share it out to your network. There's a button there. Push the share button, share it out, and come back and visit us. So, Rose Tafoya, she's our special guest today. And she always likes to say, better together. When we travel together, we're going to be talking about that. I love that slogan. She's the founder of GeniusETC, an Entrepreneur Travel Connection EDventure service. And she encourages traveling on purpose. We're going to talk about that as well. She's also the Super Boomer lifestyle travel expert. And I am excited to welcome her to the show today. So come on in, Rose, join the show. How are you today?
Oh, hi, Caren. How are you?
I am so awesome. It ought to be a sin.
I know. It's great. Thank you for having me on today. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait.
Well, I'm really happy that you're here. I'm really happy that you're here. You know, this is premiere of our season 3. So welcome to the very first episode of season 3. Excited to be back in the saddle. And we're going to just start right off by talking about super boomers. Because I like to ask people what a super boomer is. And then they ask me and they go, I don't know. I don't even know what a super boomer is. So let me give you my definition. And then I'm going to ask you what yours is. Okay. When I think super boomer, I think super boomers are not defined by their age, and they're fearless, and it's how they show up in life, and they don't say, well, I'm this age and I'm supposed to do that. That's how I describe a super boomer. What says you, Rose? What's a super boomer?
I think a super boomer for me is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle of fun and never saying no and being curious. I mean, I think being a super boomer means that you're flexible. You are willing to go that extra mile and not to just think that you're getting old, because that's just a thought that can go away. You know, staying youthful, being playful, having fun, you know, it's all part of just life. So don't let age define you.
And travel, right? And travel.
Oh, absolutely. Travel goes without saying. Travel is like, yes.
Absolutely. It goes without saying. And as our good buddy Joey Garrity likes to say, you need to be prepared at the drop of a dime to start and, you know, get ready to travel, right? And so we're going to jump right in. You know, back in 2012, I actually produced over 20 events. I hip-hopped across the country back and forth. Yeah, I know. What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. And I actually swore I would never do it again. But at the end of the year, after doing all of those events, we actually took a business cruise. 50 people joined me on a business cruise, and we went off of Florida. We went all over the place, and we had great speakers because I got it. I got the idea that when you travel, you get to meet lots of really cool people, right? And you get to learn lots of really cool things. And you are a travel connector. That's what you do. So you advocate traveling on purpose. What does that mean?
Traveling on purpose, bottom line is that when you travel with an intention of what is it that you want from that travel trip? Do you want to meet new people? Do you want to experience new foods, new cultures? Do you want to learn something new? Do you want to help the environment in that area? What is it that you want to do when you travel? Or do you just want to go lay on the beach and just relax and just have some R&R for yourself? What is your intention? So traveling on purpose, that's what that comes from. Yeah.
I totally love that. And, you know, I'm always prepared. I just put up an image up here. I travel, believe it or not, in my car. I have a little suitcase, this one, that basically, and I'll put it up there so everybody can see it, it has all my cords, because I'm a geek, right? It has my phone cords, it has my computer cords, it has my power cords, it has everything. Do you have something like that?
It's called my purse. No, seriously, my purse becomes that.
I love it. I love it. So guys, one of the things that I like to encourage you is to go check out the Super Boomer Lifestyle Store, because all of these things that we're going to be showing today and we're going to be sharing with you, you can get in the store so that you are prepared. Now, one of the things that I really like that you say, you have this thing called TNT. What does TNT stand for?
TNT is travel and transformation, but it's kind of, we all recognize TNT as dynamite, right?
Yes, yes.
Explosive, just being a boomer. So TNT is, I bring the TNT and you bring the spark.
Oh my gosh, that's such a visual, right? That is such a visual. How many of you guys out there do you think that when you go to travel, it's going to be one of those explosive occasions that you are going to learn so much? Put comments down there. Tell us about how you travel. Tell us about what that experience is, and let us know, are you ready right now? If Rose tells you we got an event coming up, which she's going to do, are you ready to get on a plane or a car or an automobile or a bus, or maybe even your bicycle, to go visit Rose? This is going to be awesome. All right, so Rose, tell me a little bit about your why. Why do you do this?
So the reason why I do this and why I travel, I just, I thought about this with my why, and I've been thinking about it, Caren. I want to take you back a little bit.
All right.
I want to take you back to when I was a child, and the why started there. When I
Okay.
took a field trip traveling on an airplane for a school field trip, I knew right then and there I wanted to be a stewardess. We called them stewardesses. And you know why? Because it was traveling somewhere fun, a new experience. The stewardesses were very fashionable and they served people. It kind of tapped into everything that I do. And when I thought about this question going forward, I'm thinking, I've been doing this my entire life. This is something that I've been wanting to do. So why I do it is to help others discover some of the things I have experienced with traveling, and also bringing education to it. So the GeniusETC, it brings education and adventure together. So it's building a platform so people can travel and learn while they're having some fun as well.
What do you think
Putting
are
them
some
together.
what do you think some of the challenges are as we get older, as we become those super boomers and we get a little bit older? Are there challenges that we experience as an older person, or is it just travel as an experience doesn't change? What do you think?
Well, I think that the normal things about traveling as we get older, sometimes we're not as tolerant. Maybe our bodies aren't as tolerant in a seat
Right.
for so many hours. But really, when it comes down to it, you really choose how you want to travel. There's
Right.
different types of traveling. It's really where you're at mentally, where you're physically, and you find a group, or you find a tour, or you find some your peeps and your tribe to travel
Right.
with, so that you're all on the same page. So no, I don't think depending on age, it doesn't really matter what your age is. There's types of travel for all age levels, all activity levels. So yeah.
So, I've actually changed as I've gotten older. I used to travel with, oh my gosh, and I'm sure a lot of people are like this. I used to travel with so much luggage that it is surprising that I actually got anywhere, because I would go stand in the luggage place, and I would sit there and I'd wait and wait for the gazillion bags that would come. I now travel with one bag.
Yeah.
I literally, I don't know, maybe you do the same thing. I want something that I can put under my seat on the plane or in the overhead, and I travel light. What are some thoughts and some recommendations for people that are getting ready to travel?
Well, I think when you want to travel, so you can travel light, because I believe that is the number one thing. Travel light. It will make your life so much easier. Think about what you're going to put in that bag. Go with the same color scheme of what your wardrobe's going to be. Bring a scarf that you can intertwine with a lot of different outfits. I typically wear black and grays, and then I bring different scarves and things that will accent that outfit. So you're wearing less clothing, or you're bringing less clothing in your bag. There's ways that you can find fabrics of clothing that rolls very easily and it doesn't wrinkle. So those are some of the things I think about when I travel is, finding the wardrobe that can go for many, many days, and that you can rinse and wash in your room and dry really fast and
Right.
be able to wear it the next couple of days or whatever.
See, and I tend to have stuff already packed, believe it or not. I use these little packing cubes, and I have
Mm-hmm.
stuff that I can just grab. I throw it in my suitcase. I have, my pair of jeans, a couple of tops that I might want to wear. If I'm going to go to a business event, I might pack a pair of black slacks, that kind of thing. And I'm always prepared with my toiletry bag, because who wants to pack your toiletry bag? In fact, that is one of those things that if I have to do it each time, I'm not going to travel. I'm just not going to do it.
You are so right on. And Caren, it's so funny this year. I traveled with my daughter to Bali a couple of months ago, and I saw that she did not have a toiletry bag with anything. I said, "Do you have a brush?" "Oh, no." "Do you have this?" "No." I'm like, "Oh my gosh." So you know what I did for her for Christmas is I bought a bag and I filled with all the toiletries that you need, even like down to the shout that you put for like a stain, all the things that you would need when you travel. And I was just in LA in her area and she was traveling, and guess what? She had taken the whole bag with her. So she was so jazzed about that gift. She's like, "Oh my God, it's all there." All those things that you think you need, and you can just make little travel size of everything and have that bag ready to go so you can just grab it and go.
Absolutely. I mean, because if you're not ready to go, and again, Joe, I'll give a shout out to Joey. She's always talking about be prepared. So if you get the call to come do a speaking engagement, or if you get the call to go to an event, that you're not thinking, I don't have the time to do this. Be prepared. It's like a Girl Scout, right? Be prepared.
Right. And also be prepared with your passport. That's one thing that some people need to think about as well. So you have to have 6 months left on your passport to be able to travel out of the country. So if your passport's going to expire within a month and you need to travel, you need to look at that. So, and also with your pages, you need to have 6 pages if you're doing visas or whatever. So make sure your passport's current and ready to go as well.
I'm going on a cruise at the end of the year, and my passport is going to expire 2 months after the cruise has started. And I know you have to have 6 months. So I'm right now in the process of getting my passport renewed and all of that. That's such a great tip. Any other tips that people should remember if they want to be ready to travel on a dime?
I think probably that. And also just, be prepared like with your health, have all of your medicines up to date. If you're going to travel, make sure you get your prescriptions refilled, or, do all of that maintenance for yourself, your health. And just, that's one thing I always say that, be ready to go. Like if you're wanting a manicure, if that, for example, if you're a speaker, you need to be ready to go. You need to make sure your eyebrows are waxed, your fingers, whatever you want. You need to have the maintenance done. So that's something that should always be ready to go.
So for those of you who are watching live or on replay, how do you prepare for a trip? How do you get ready? Are you ready in advance? Do you have a travel bag? Do you have the cubes packed? Do you have all of your cords in one place? How do you prepare for a trip? Comment below. Let us know how you prepare, because that's important. I see right behind you, Rose, you have this beautiful image, and I actually put it up on the screen as well. Tell us a little bit about this.
Okay, so this really speaks to me. I bought this print in Los Angeles a month ago for an event that I was doing down there, and I was looking for something to put on my table. And I ran into this, and it just speaks to me because it's really where my heart is. I love to travel. I love our country. I love our world. I try to do everything I can to make an impact in our world. So this whole globe of loving each other and loving the globe, and to travel and to know new cultures and to know new people and to explore, it's just an amazing. And of course you can see I wear hearts. I bought this in Rome. I saw this in a window, and I passed it when I was traveling. And I went a few blocks. I'm like, oh, I think I need to go back and buy that. So I did. And, I'm all about love and hearts, and just the passion that I have for living life and to traveling and meeting new people. And I just enjoy that. So, yeah, so that painting speaks to me.
That is wonderful. So, I always like to ask my guests this question, because we have a network of people out there that know, love, and like us, right? They like us, but they don't know everything about us. Is there something that you want to share about yourself that maybe your own network, your family doesn't know about you?
Well, I think I think what maybe people don't really realize about me is I'm pretty creative. And I really can spend hours creating. I can spend hours putting together collages of photos or just creating new things. As a supporter, typically, and someone that does events and travels, and I'm always on the go, I don't have a lot of time to really just sit down and create. But the times that I do, I really, really enjoy that.
Do you journal when you're on trips? Do you
I
have a
do.
journal?
I do.
That's
I love
great.
to write. That's one of my passions. I also write for Thrive Global and Huffington Post, and I've written a novel. So writing is one of my passions. So
Oh, is
yes, I
that
do write.
all? Is that all? You've written for Huffington? You have a novel? Oh,
Yes.
darn. Well, you might, you know what? I'm after the show. Let's get some of that information and we'll put it in the show notes so that people can go check that out. The
Okay.
next thing I want to chat with you about is your actual trips and your adventures. You have something called Entrepreneur EDventure. How clever is that? Tell us what that is.
So entrepreneur adventures are basically adventure is education and adventure. We bring those together for entrepreneurs. We marry those together. So when you travel, you're traveling on purpose to learn and to adventure. So that's where entrepreneur adventure comes from.
And you have an event coming up soon. And I'm going to put the link up here so that people can go and sign up for this. Because again, now that we're telling you need to be prepared, I did tell you that we're going to talk about an event that's coming up in the next couple of months. So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen.
Okay, so I'm working right now. And what I like to do is I like to collaborate with people that are doing wonderful things. And I have done a lot of mentoring and I have been mentored myself. I've been mentored by Andrew Eggleton, who's a presenter's coach. And he comes from Australia and he's coming for the first time to the United States in
Wow.
April. He'll be in San Francisco April 9th and then in New York April 13th.
Mhm.
So I have partnered with him. So he will bring a group of people. It's a limited amount of seats, and he'll teach how to go from good presenting to world class presenting. And then the next day, I am taking that group of people who sign up, and we're going to go take a trip to Napa, and we're going to adventure. So we get education one day with Andrew, and we adventure the next day in Napa.
Oh my gosh.
So those are the type of events that I like to put together.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know that I hail from Napa. I'm actually really jealous. I'm thinking that maybe I need to jump up and go up there and join you and do this
You
trip.
should.
I'm actually going to put this up because Joey actually put this San Francisco, April 9th. It's coming, but
Yeah.
we will have all the information down below in the link. They can sign up and they can join you. I know that you and I just talked about some of the really cool places in Napa. So you guys, when you sign up for this, first of all, we're telling you that we're encouraging you to be ready to do this. So this is a perfect example. Be ready to do this. Learn how to be a presenter. I think almost any business owner can be helped by those skills. Would you agree?
Yes, for sure. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And Andrew's pretty amazing. So go to his website and you'll learn more about who he is. But yeah, it's really a good workshop.
That's awesome. You know, we always get asked, how do we get in touch with our guests? So I'm going to put your website up. It's imagine that, rosetafoya.com. That's very clever. I'm kidding. If you want to follow Rose on Twitter like I do, go to @genius_etc. If you want to follow her on Instagram, which I encourage you to do as well, again, it's @genius_etc. And finally, go check her out on Facebook at Imagine That Genius, etc. So you go over to Facebook, Twitter, and IG. You can follow her just like I do and get some great tips, great ideas, great stories, and it's going to be. It actually is going to enhance your life. I really do believe this. You know, Rose, you are doing something that I think a lot of people only think about doing. You are following your dream. I know you are passionate about this. Tell us about this passion because I know it started a long time ago.
You know, so Caren, I'm a passion test facilitator, like I believe you are as well, right? So passion and living with passion and purpose is just who I am. With this, I have gotten involved with a platform, an educational platform for entrepreneurs called GeniusU. And a couple of years ago, I just ran into this looking for something again for my daughter to help her with her skills. And I ran in, and now what I'm doing with Entrepreneur and GeniusU is just putting together all sorts of events for them, working with them. They do a lot of educational workshops. So bringing people to those workshops and then doing some adventure having some fun after we're done learning, or taking our learnings and doing something with it, making an impact, doing whatever we need to do. So that's just where I've been for the last couple of years. But my whole lifespan is just following my passion, and that is the writing and the traveling. I was a travel agent for many years. So I'm using all the skills that I know and have and bringing them all together. And the other thing that I'm doing as well coming forward is I'm going to be doing workshops on my own to really enhance the talent of teams and how to build teams within companies. So it's talent dynamics. So I'm doing that with GeniusU and bringing that together. So you'll see more of that coming up for me and doing more of my own workshops. So I now will be able to take those workshops to, I want to take, and I'll put this out there, and we can probably do something and do this together with Super Boomers, is to go to Italy and Spain in June and do a trip there and do a talent dynamics workshop and then travel. So this is where I'm going with this, and how we can incorporate to teach, to learn, to educate, and to have fun.
Everyone needs a rose in their corner. That's all I could say. And I think I heard Italy, and I'm there. Italy is amazing. The food, everything. And again, you're showing us how we can be prepared and to go. I do believe that everyone needs a rose in their corner. Is there any last minute thoughts that you'd like to share with us before I drop you into the green room?
Well, let me see. Let me put my glasses on and see if any notes that I wrote out, if there's anything. Yes, I do want to say something that I think is really important, and another thing that I live by is showing up.
Yes.
Showing up, and this is the book that I'm working on right now. It's called Showing Up Never Lets Me Down.
Love it.
Because when you show up, that's when the magic happens. So
exactly.
Show up in your life for whatever that is and whatever that looks like, whether travel's involved in that, or just a workshop, or just being with friends and family, whatever that looks like. Just show up and be present and enjoy your life. Live your best life. And don't be afraid to learn. I'm a learning leader. I think learning and being curious is really what keeps me alive and keeps me focused on where I want to go. Just don't be afraid to learn. We need to learn something new every day and be curious. Always.
As I like to, just do it, right?
Yeah, just do it.
Just do it. Rose Tafoya, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I was excited to have you on for the premiere show. Travel I think is going to be the topic for the year. We need to get out of our own way. We need to get out of our own box. We need to get out of the fear. We need to step into being a super boomer, and you epitomize that. So I want to thank you for being on the show. I'm going to drop you into the green room as I get ready to do my super boomer moment. One of those things that I think just was an aha moment for me. And again, I just want to thank you for your time today. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Caren. Thank you so much. I really had fun. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
So here's my super boomer moment. As I've gotten older, and I think I mentioned at the beginning, as I've gotten older, I am a little less anxious to travel. And maybe it's because I've done so much travel, and I don't mean traveling around the world. I mean in the country, going to this place. I used to have a post that I would say, I'm on the road, ... again, because it was so much traveling. But now as I've gotten a little bit older and I put that traveling behind, now I can travel with purpose, as Rose says. And I love that. Have a purpose, have a reason that you're doing this. Go to an event to learn something. Go to an event to experience something. Go to Rose's event in San Francisco and then in Napa to have some great wine and to learn how to be a great presenter. I just think that we need to get out of our own way as super boomers, as anybody for that matter, but we need to get out of our own way and just do it. I want to thank you guys for being on the show today. We know that you have a choice as to how you spend your time, and you chose to spend it with Rose and I today on the premiere episode 1 of season 3. We want to thank you for doing that. And I want to thank all of you down there in comment land, whether you're on the replay or you're here live. We want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. And we'll see you next week on the next episode of the Super Boomer Lifestyle Show. Goodbye, everyone.